Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is Richard from WELSHYTECH, and today we are looking at the DeepCool AG620 G2. It's a budget cooler from DeepCool. Should you buy it in 2026? Well, let's find out, shall we? So now, what you're actually going to see right here is what comes inside the box. What comes in the box is actually the brackets. The manual does come with thermal paste, as well as the actual cooler itself. The cooler does have two pre-installed fans, and they are able to be daisy chained. Now, when it comes to the actual specs of the cooler itself, it does have 6 heat pipes, 2 fans installed, but when it comes to the actual specs itself, well, the actual weight of it is 1,036 grams, does have 6 heat pipes at 6 millimeters. The fan ranges are between 500 and 2,000 and 520 to 100 RPM. So, the fans, the actual airflow is between 63.56 CFM and 70.09 CFM. The actual millimeter H2O, or the fan air pressure, is 1.98 or 2.59. The actual noise, they rate between 23 decibels and 29. It does have 4 pins at PWM. It does have hydro bearing, and also it is rated for 12 volts. So, is this actual cooler any loud? Is it loud? Is it quiet? Well, let's find out in this little clip right here, which will give you an indicator of how loud it is or quiet it is at 100% fan speed. Okay, so what you should be there? No, the fans aren't the loudest, they aren't the quietest either, but I think they are actually okay when it comes to actual noise. Now, let's get into the actual thermals and the benchmarking, shall we? Okay, so when it actually comes to the test system, it is my AM5 platform. It is a Ryzen 9 7900. It does have 32 gigs of DDR5 from Apacer. It does have a Sapphire X870 a Wi-Fi motherboard. Does have a 2TB Gen 5 drive from Kingston, and has a Gen 4 2TB from Samsung, an RX 7800 XT, and it also does have a 1200 watt platinum NMAX power supply, and it's housed in the BeQuet Shadowbase 800 FX. So for the testing, it's the same around the benchmarks: 50% fan speed and 100% fan speed. And I also do mention the power draw and the clock speed during this. Now, for 50%, the Cinebench R23, the idles are 31 with a max of 85, Blender Pavilion, idles 31 with a max of 84, Blender Classroom, idles 31 with a max of 83, and 3D Mark CPU Test, the idles were 31 with a max of 77 Celsius. So, the power draw was high at 166 watts with a low at 158, with a CPU clocks high at 5.4 and low at 5 gigahertz. So, for the 100%, now the CPU power, the CPU idles did go up by 2 degrees. The Cinebench R23, the idles were 33 with a max of 84. Blender Pavilion, the idles were 33 with a max of 84. Blender Classroom, idles 33 with a max of 83. And 3D Mark CPU Test, the idles were 33 with a max of 74 Celsius, so that already came down. Now, the highs were exactly the same at 166 watts, but the lows were actually a little bit higher at 161. CPU clocks are exactly the same, high at 5.4 and low at 5 gigahertz. So now what you're going to see, I'm actually going to put a lot of different coolers. I'll put other coolers I've done as well around this price point, because this is around the 35 to 40 pound mark. So I will put a lot of different coolers so you guys can actually see how this performs against other coolers on the market, like Thermalright from Knock to Be Quiet, other air coolers that I have previously reviewed as well. So make sure you continue to watch, because this is where the graphs are going to show. Okay, so this installation is fairly straightforward. So you do get standoffs here, just like that. Place them down, fairly straightforward. You just place them down and that's it. Now we get to the brackets. Now there are offsets here. Now, the ones for AM5 are the D, which is, if you can see below, it says D and C. The D is for AM5. So, place it there. Place it there, like that. Place it down, like this. It's just screwing it in a little bit on each side, just so you get the catch. And then you repeat the process on each side. Now, that's the bracket done. Now we get the thermal paste. Okay, so this is Thermal Grizzly Door or Not. This is the official thermal paste I use for all CPU coolers as well as AIOs, unless of course they do come with pre-applied thermal paste. If you guys want to get comparable or similar results, then the link for this will be in the description down below. Okay, so with the thermal paste done, now what I want you to do is grab the cooler like this and just line up the screws to the tabs, but there. Now, screw down, you start with one side like this, like that, just to get it to start, and then you start on the other side and you continue that process until it fully bottoms out. That's fully bottomed out, and if you guys do want to buy one of these LTT screwdrivers, then the link for that will be in the description as well. Now, as for the fans, what I want you to do is take the clips. These will come pre-done, so what you want to do is place this one in the middle like this, like that, and place it like this. Clip each side. That's one done. Then we have the other side here, like this, just like that. Doesn't matter which one goes where, it's, you know, that doesn't matter at all. Now let's get into the PWM. Okay, so motherboard, when it comes to like CPU fan headers, they do vary from motherboard to motherboard. Some place them a little bit closer, some do place them a bit far to this side of the board. Now it really does depend, but this cooler does have a daisy chain cable ready attached. Now the fan on the front by here comes with a daisy chain like this. All you do is plug this into the daisy chain cable like that. Now obviously you'd have to route it yourself, but take the cable and go like this, plug it in like that, and that is it. That is it for the installation. Okay then, so what did you think of that? Now, first of all, I'm going to give you my overall impressions. Now, first of all, I'd like to say that I do like this cooler. I really do like the simplicity of this cooler. It's basic, it's simple, it's just 2 fans, 6 heat pipes, fins, and it performs well. Now, this is what I like to have, is a basic, generic or basic budget CPU cooler on the channel, because this does help when it comes to comparing it to other coolers. No, this isn't the best cooler when it comes in terms of thermals, but this is definitely one of them. It's up there with some of the best on the market. This thing does perform very well. The acoustics of this, it's not the loudest, but it's also not the quietest fans I've ever heard, but then that is fine. I'd happily use this. It's very, very good, especially for what it costs. This, I found a price at £35. This is very, very budget. This is a good price point for Be Quiet. Now, whether you guys agree or not, that's really going to be up to you. Obviously, there are other brands that are very dominant in this type of price range. This is a very good, capable cooler. This will definitely be okay for AM4, AM5. It'll also be even okay for 14th gen, depending on which one you go for, and it will be fine for 1851 CPUs. So that is what you want. It's £35. It doesn't cost an absolute arm and a leg, and that's what I like about it. It's basic. The price is okay. Even though I do wish it was a little bit cheaper, you know, where they could actually match like other brands out there. But I think the £35 mark for a budget cooler is actually okay. Now, whether you guys agree or not, that is up to you. If I can find a link for this, I will put it down below. Now, the price is fantastic. I do like the budget pricing, and I do like the simplistic look of the actual cooler itself. Whether you guys agree, that's going to be up to you. But I'd like to say a big thank you to DeepCool for sending this out for review. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, because we've got absolute tons of stuff coming. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as always, this is Rich for WELSHYTECH. I hope you guys have a fantastic week and weekend ahead of you. Goodbye.